This is probably the only filmmaking channel on YouTube that makes videos exclusively about how to use Super 8 film. Not only do we make videos about how you can use Super 8 film to make your Super 8 films better, but we're also going to be making a brand new Super 8 film every month and documenting the entire process. So if you are interested in making Super 8 films, learn how to use the film effectively, and if you also want to watch me trying to use Super 8 film and learn from my mistakes, then I suggest you subscribe to this channel and click the bell button so that you don't miss anything. Okay, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to focus a Super 8 camera. By focusing, I mean basically adjusting the lens on your camera until the picture that you are looking at becomes clear and sharp, as opposed to blurry as it would be if it was out of focus. You need to make sure that the eyepiece of your Super 8 camera, this piece here, is in focus before you can start focusing the lens. Now, I've already made a video about how to focus a Super 8 camera's eyepiece, but there are a few things that I haven't mentioned in that video. First of all, you need to kind of look into your eyepiece and you need to kind of work out what type of eyepiece your Super 8 camera has, because many Super 8 cameras have different types of eyepiece. First of all, are there any markings in your eyepiece? For example, some Super 8 cameras will have a little cross in the center of the eyepiece. Other cameras will have a little circle with like a line through it, and some cameras, such as this one here, fancy pants one, will even have the f-stop number displayed in the eyepiece of the camera. Now, if there are any markings on the inside of your Super 8 camera, then the easiest way to focus your eyepiece is simply to adjust your eyepiece until the markings inside your eyepiece become very kind of sharp and clear and not blurry. If, however, your eyepiece doesn't have markings inside it, or if the markings inside it are too faint that you don't feel as if you can use them to focus very well, then there is another way that you can focus your eyepiece, and I've already made a video about that, so please watch that video. Right, now that we've got our eyepiece focused, it's time to start focusing the actual lens on your Super 8 camera, and there are two ways in which you can do this. The first way is the zoom into focus method. To use this method, basically all you need to do is get your Super 8 camera and simply zoom in on the thing that you are focusing on as far as you could possibly go. Then, when you've done that, all you have to do is simply adjust your focus until the thing that you have zoomed all the way in on looks as though it is in perfect focus, and then zoom back out again. Using this method is helpful because it is easier to see whether something is in focus or not if you were zoomed right in on it than it is if you are zoomed out. It's almost like looking at a tiny little section of your frame with a magnifying glass. But unfortunately, some Super 8 cameras have such poor quality lenses and eyepieces that even using the zoom into focus method isn't really an accurate measure of whether something is in focus or not. Add to that the fact that a lot of people don't really trust their eye when it comes to focusing an image. So in that case, luckily there is a second method of focusing a Super 8 camera, and that is the tape measure method. Now, if you look at your Super 8 camera's lens closely, you will see that it has distance measurements on it. See the little M there for meters, for those of us who use metric, and the little FT sign there for feet, for those of us who use imperial. And then it has your simple numbers there. Therefore, all you have to do in order to focus your image is to simply measure the distance that your camera is away from the thing that you wish to focus on. But what part of your camera do you measure the distance from? Well, that's a good question because it's very important. A lot of people think that the lens is the thing that you should measure your tape measure to, but no, that's not correct. If you do that, your image will be out of focus. In actual fact, every single camera has a small symbol, which is basically a circle with a line through it, which tells you where to measure your focal distance to. On this camera, that little symbol is about here. So what you would do is simply measure to that point. On this camera it's slightly different, however. On this camera, that little symbol is on this bolt here. As you can see, that bolt has a hole in it, which is the circle, and has a kind of very faint line which has been kind of indented into the bolt, which represents the line going through it. So on this camera, the place you should measure your focal point to is this little bolt right here. Simply measure from the thing that you wish to focus on towards the camera and to the symbol on the side. And that is how to focus your Super 8 camera. If you like these videos, then please subscribe, because soon I'm going to be doing a video giving you advice on how to light Super 8 film on a budget, and also I'm going to be putting up regular updates on the process of me making the Super 8 film per month, which I'm going to be making on this channel. So stay tuned.
Oh my god. It's horrible.
Yeah.
What is, oh, it's really gross. I mean, like,
It's kind of like
I might just pretend to eat it.
it doesn't taste quite as bad as you would imagine.